And there was another kind of short one. This one from Eric.
Hello, everybody. My name is...
GitHub has an invisible code problem. I don't really know what the context was here. But I don't know. It's GitHub, and I like Eric's videos. Eric's cool. Had him on the podcast before. Cool dude.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eric, and today
Hi,
we're
Eric.
going to be looking at the same open source semicolon trick that we've seen a couple of times. Well, it
Semicolon
seems to
trick.
have expanded to gaming bots, and this person is posting about it in the GitHub community. I
Okay.
found many packages using some weird stuff to hide code in plain sight. There are tens of similar packages, and he's saying it's a GitHub render vulnerability. I mean, I guess you could... Oh, okay.
Okay, that's kind of funny. Okay.
It's a GitHub render vulnerability. I mean, I guess you could... Oh, okay, that's strange. So this one actually, for some reason, in this GitHub preview, doesn't actually show what it's doing, because you can just see import numpy. That looks fine. But in this code, let's see if we can see it in this version. Oh, wait a second.
Oh, okay, wait, that's... So you can break the way that GitHub renders the code, and basically, for people that are just looking at the code without examining it, I guess... What is this, some dumb way to make idiots run bad commands? Yes, that is exactly what it is. As you, I don't know if you can see, just so it's clear, it is doing a base 64 decode. So yes, it is a way to get idiots to run dumb commands.
Import base 64 exec base 64.decode, and then a bunch of code. Now, if you look at this briefly, you'll never notice. And they use a couple of tricks, although this one actually puts it in everything, which is kind of redundant. But a lot of them, they'll put the hidden code in one file you're probably not going to check, and it will include some legitimate code, so that you might be fooled into thinking this is real. But up at the top, we can see base 64. Now, this is spread beyond, because previously this was mostly in Discord, raiding, and crypto spam, but this is more legit. Like, this is something... By legit, I mean something that isn't totally unethical, and you might think about people using. I don't know what Heyday is, but it's a game. Now, this about page here should tell you...
Heyday farm bot working 2024. A bot that can plant, harvest, and sell crops in Heyday automatically in Python 3. Heyday bot, Heyday farm bot, Heyday auto farmer. 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 Heyday bot, Heyday farm day. Heyday...
What you need to know, this is not quite right. Let's just search on GitHub if any of these other ones are legit.
That was obvious. That's the reason why it's like that is SEO, right? That's SEO.
So this looks like this was probably the real one, because this one doesn't have the mysterious offset.
Oh, okay. So there's an actual bot for it, and there's a malicious fork that tries to outrank it in the SEO, and then inject malicious code. I see how this works. Okay.
So this was then borrowed and turned into this project.
Right.
And unless you're paying really close attention, it might even be worse on other operating systems. You may not see this down here. Yikes. Now, I don't know if this is a GitHub vulnerability per se. I think it would be good if they could put a warning, because there is no legitimate reason to ever do this. This is mostly a product of how Python works. It's a bit like the batch file we looked at in the previous video, where oftentimes obfuscation will come as a result of how a language works. Python has a very rarely used but semantically valid feature where if you put a semicolon, you can put two pieces of code on one line. Fair enough. Now, what is a bit stranger is you can also put an infinite amount of white space after a command to this, and it is still valid Python. So that's how this works.
What a stupid fucking language this is. I forgot you could do that.
Now let's actually figure out what's going on here.
I'm sure it'll be
believe it
nothing
says
dangerous.
This is going to install some crypto libraries, so I've got a pretty good idea that this is going to...
Cryptography, Python install requests, Fernet. What is Fernet? Okay. Yeah, this is just a data. This is just a data stealer.
Then proceed to get some further. Yeah, so there's encryption. We import Fernet. We execute this. I'm gonna find out what this is. I have a feeling this is gonna be another 1312 stealer or a similar project. I think they might have changed domains, but it's probably gonna be the same idea. We end up on a Russian site. Okay, so this must still be live, given it's got a Cloudflare, and it does delineate by which repo it is, which is kind of interesting.
Just so we're clear, this is in a virtual machine. This is in like a cordoned off environment. He's not doing this on hardware. Eric knows what he's doing.
So I'm just going to use the format I always do, which is I'll just make another file for the next stage, and we'll dump the bytes, and then once again we'll switch this out for a print, because if it's... Of course, if it says exec, that means it's going to be valid Python. It'd be better to just dump this out directly. And this one is weird because it, for whatever reason, it thinks it's necessary to install our encryption dependency again.
Okay.
We don't need to reinstall that. And then we go to this. And this is a multi-line string that ultimately executes this. And then this subprocess command simply drops another stage and executes it. Now we go stage 4, and this is stage 4 here. This is a pretty straightforward Python stealer.
Yeah.
It's pretty well designed. It's not obfuscated.
I spotted that right there. Yup, there it is.
It's pretty well designed. It's not obfuscated in any way. This is definitely not the most intelligent malware I've ever seen. Of course, you'd have to trace a couple of things. And amazingly, this domain is still up months afterwards. My default assumption is an info stealer payload has a lifespan of a few weeks. But this guy has been up unaltered for months. It also validates the Discord token just to avoid him getting any bad data. Now, another thing this thing has got going on, and we could try and... Okay, I wanna see what this is all about. I'm gonna make another. I'm just gonna dump out this because this is doing a similar trick to what I showed in one of my other videos where it's actually injecting, which means every time you open your atomic wallet, the malware is going to run again. This is a really, really annoying payload. And let's also check out what this HVNC script is up to. Okay, that's got to be another detection somewhere. It's interesting. So this payload actually gets blocked by a Cloudflare warning.
Good job, Cloudflare.
So instead of that, your program would actually end up with... It would completely break. Well, that's good on Cloudflare for actually doing something about this. And the HVNC has been taken down for some reason. It could be IP gated, I guess. Don't really know why they'd still have half of this stealer going. And here is the Chrome method. I am not going to show the whole thing, but it is using the Chrome remote debugging method that has become quite popular. So that's going to be all for this video. Once again, please be very careful with open source projects, especially for...
Yeah, don't run random shit that you have no idea if it's actually the thing. Especially if the description is this.
Things, or if they have a spam anywhere. Another red flag here that I just thought of. This was all uploaded in one go. Sometimes that happens, but it's a bit strange. The fact that this user doesn't really have...
Yep.
There's actually another oddity here, which is there's a different username that did all of the work. There's really not much going on here. So that's going to be all for this video. Please do leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more content. I don't know why all these random print...
I'm not subbed on this channel.
Either. That's all from me for now. Bye.
That is a stupid problem.